Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidyushavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadihedave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Dhyanamoolam Guror Murtihi Pujamulam Guror Padam Mantramoolam Guror Vakyam Mokshamoolam Guror Kripa Mokshamoolam Guror Kripa. So we are talking about the future of India and the vision for India. I know it's a very disinteresting subject because it doesn't relate to you immediately. And you may be thinking, what does a Swami has to do talk about it? Swami does not know politics or economics, or supposed not to know. Swami should talk about only Brahman, not anything else. So that's the kind of mindset we have. Therefore, we don't give due importance to such kind of discussions and Swami's role in such discussions. But we have the traditional Swami Ramadas interfering in politics, and Vasishtha, Vyasa, they were great rishis, but they had their own opinion about politics, and their opinions were sought by the rulers of those times. So our tradition is such that when we discuss about a country or a society, we not only bring economists and politicians and sociologists and scientists, we also bring spiritual people into the mix of the discussion. That has been our tradition, and that tradition has to be maintained. And also, we look at the nation as a deity. A country is not just a handful of soil or mountains and rivers or just people. We look at the country as a deity, Bharat Mata. So when you serve the country, you are serving God. When you serve the country, you are purifying yourself, antakarana shuddhi. And by serving the country, you can realize your potential and you can discover the Brahmanhood, which is the purpose of spirituality, knowing one's own essential nature. So the country for us is very, very important because we look upon the country as a Devada, Bharat Mata, we have seen. So this kind of a discussion should go on. We may not get a big mass for this discussion. Because when a mass comes, then there is no discussion, there is only slogan shouting. Slogan shouting doesn't lead you to critical thinking. Therefore, we don't need a mass for this discussion, large number of people. And we need a small number of people. But people who are ready to think, set aside some of their valuable time. Instead of thinking for themselves and their family, they think for the country and the future, their children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and the future of this planet, this tiny planet, which is the only place that human beings or beings like us exist and survive. So the protection of the planet is very, very important. It is time for us to think deeply. And we cannot leave this job to the top occurrence of the people. Everybody should participate in this discussion. From bottom up, discussion is possible. Politicians, management experts, leaders, scientists and activists, spiritual people, all of them should come together and participate in such a discussion. It's a critical time that we are going through. As I told you, next election is very important. The next 100 years of India's future will be determined by the next election, where we go, which direction we take, which exit we take. If you take a wrong exit, we may drive very efficiently, but we'll be going to the wrong direction. So one has to think very carefully. And again I told you, we are going to celebrate the 70th anniversary of our independent country, independent. And this is the time for us to sit and look back, discuss things, and then so that we can repurpose ourselves and recreate our vision. These things have to be done, otherwise we will be shooting into the darkness. Nothing is going to happen. So with this introduction, yesterday I talked a few things just to define the modality of this discussion. Two things I said. This discussion will be flowing toward these two banks. On one bank is Hindutva nationalism, other bank is Hindu universalism. Hindutva nationalism thinks about the nation, nation first. And in the nation first, it requires nation security, nation's defense, nation's progress, nation's sovereignty. All these are involved when we think of the Indian nation. At the same time, Hindus have a vision for the world, a message for the world. Hindus have a message. What is the message? The message of the Upanishads, the message of Bhagavad Gita, the message of the Vedas. What is that message? That message is Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. The whole world is one family. Yatra Vishwam Bhavatyega Nidam. Where the whole planet becomes one nest, where we all can rest and relax. Similarly, another vision of the Veda is Egam Sat Vipraha Bhaguda Vadanti. Truth is one, but truth can be approached from different positions and perspectives. There can be different ideas about the truth. The real truth is revealed in the clash of ideas, as they say. The more perspectives, the better vision of the truth. So these are the things what the Hindus teach the world. When we say we are Loka Gurus, we must have a message for the world, not just for India. India is only one part of the world. At the same time, we cannot operate in the whole world. We have to operate in India. India is the field where we can express ourselves, where we can experiment our ideas. So it is very important that we keep the integrity of the country, and at the same time, we also think of the world. So having said all this, we have seen our idea of two ideas. The India as a whole country, and the idea of a Vijigishu. When we say India, what does it mean? A country needs a language, a common language, a common culture, a common religion, and a geostrategic boundary. At this point, India is an unstable triangle. If you look at the map of India, it is like a triangle with a point downward. So it's an unstable triangle. It cannot stand. Because on top it is wide and bottom it is very narrow. That triangle cannot stand. That's why there is a lot of disturbances in India because of this geographical position of India. This is not the real India. The real India must have hands and legs and head and all that, and the trunk. The real India shape is an elephant, not an unstable triangle. That is only Shakti, and that triangle represents Shakti. But where is Shiva? Shiva Shaktya yukto yadi bhavati shaktaha prabhavidum najaya devam devo nakhalu kushalak spandidum abhi adastva amaradhya marihara virinjadi virabi pranandam stodum vakadam agruda punnyo prabhavadi. So the India's map is represent Shakti, but Shakti without Shiva has no purpose, no direction. It's like a car with a full of petrol but no brake, no wheel. Where will you direct it? So we need Shiva. And symbolically, Shiva sits in Mount Kailas. Mount Kailas in Tibet. Tibet is under control of China. China has completely destroyed the culture of Tibet. 6 years ago, I was in Tibet, and my heart bled seeing the condition of Tibetans and how the Chinese have completely overtaken Tibet, militarily, business-wise, and culturally. The Tibetan language is completely wiped off. They brought in Chinese language. They imported the Chinese people there. They are controlling business there. So our Shiva is sitting there. He is a prisoner of the Chinese. As long as we liberate Shiva, the Shakti has no meaning at all. That is what I said. India's map is that of an elephant. An elephant means that is the Chakravarti's Kshetra, according to Chanakya. It is only when we bring the whole of India together. Now it is only a Kabandam. A Kabandam means a torso. Hands are cut off, leg is cut off, head is cut off. What is the head? Head is Tibet. What are the hands? Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and Burma. Where is the feet? Sri Lanka, Maldives. That is the feet. It's all cut off. And we are having this torso, this moth-eaten torso. India cannot realize her full potential with this little torso of her real self. So Vijigishu means a leader. That's a word for a leader used by Chanakya. A Vijigishu, a conqueror, a leader, one who leads. He thinks in terms of this. His dream is of India, is the whole of India, which includes Afghanistan, Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, and Tibet, and Bangladesh, and Nepal, and Bhutan. That's the India. And this landmass is a geostrategic unit. It has got natural protection. The Himalayas, as I said yesterday, Nagadirajaha, Himalayo nama Nagadiraja, Tistarasayam dishi devadatma, Himalayo nama Nagadiraja, Purvabaru toyanidhi, Vigahyastida Pridhivyamiva Manadandaha. So that is the ideal Indian state, that it has got a geostrategic unity. And in this country, Hinduism will be a majority religion, unfortunately. I made a calculation. In this country, there are Muslims, there are Buddhists, there are Hindus, there are Christians, and Hindus will still have 2/3 majority in this country. And therefore, Hinduism will be the major religion, because a nation needs a religion, a dominant religion. There can be minority religions, we can manage that, but we need a dominant religion, and Hinduism will be a dominant religion because 2/3 of people will be still followers of Hinduism, maybe 1/3 Islam, and the rest of the people constitute the other 1/3. And therefore, the Hindus will still retain the majority in this country. And Hindus have to unite, of course. If we are split into caste and regions and linguistic division, that is going to happen. We have to be united, speak in one voice. There is where the role of RSS and role of Hindutva people come, unifying Hindus and projecting their power. So Hinduism will be the dominant religion in the geostrategic unit, and the dominant culture. We will share one culture. If you go to Afghanistan, you feel you are in your own country. They understand Hindi. Go to Pakistan, of course. They are our brethren. They understand Hindi. Go to Burma, their main book is Yamayana. That means Ramayana. They follow the Ramayana. And that the main river is called Airavati. Airavadam. Airavadam was the white elephant, the mount of Indra. Airavadam. And that is the trunk of the elephant. The Burma is the trunk of the elephant. And so when you look at all this, bring all these countries, Hinduism will be still the dominant religion, and there will be a common language in Hindustani. All of them can understand that language, and the culture is common. our food habits are common, our dressing habits are common, and our demeanor is the same. You don't feel as Sri Lankan people a strange man. If you go to Russia, they're totally different. If you go to China, they're totally different. If you go to England, they're totally different. But if you go to Afghanistan or Burma, we are brothers and sisters. That feeling comes. So culture is the same. There's a dominant religion, there's a dominant language, and there is geostrategic integrity and unity. We can defend this country very easily because the Himalayas on one side, water on the other side, we are safe. And this is the dream of a Vichikishu, a real leader of India. We want to bring this country together. And bringing this country together, what are the means? How do we go about it? This is how we have to think. We cannot think just in terms of this truncated India. That is not the real India. If you want to realize your full potential, why China is going leaps and bounds? Why China is progressing? Because they have realized their geographic unity, geostrategic unity. So there are still few problems to be solved, but still they have more or less achieved that unity. India still has to achieve that unity. So future leaders, young people, ambitious young people, think about it. Unless we have this, we will not be able to have an independent position in the world of nations. Our powers will be limited. So Vichigishu concept of Chanakya is very, very important. The Chakravarti Kshetra concept of Chanakya is very, very important. And unless we realize these two, and a Vichigishu future leader need not be one individual. That's another interesting thing. Earlier we believed in Avatara, and Avatara will come and solve all the problems. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamiham. Whenever there is a crisis, I will manifest and I solve the problem. And we Hindus are waiting for the Avatara. That Avatara will never come. These days, leaders are not individuals. Leaders are a combination of factors. Machines are very, very important. Individual experts are very, very important. So experts from various fields, machines, computers, all of them together and will constitute the future leader. So I would say the future leader will not be an individual, he will be a presence. He will be a space where various talents can be brought together. And in that talent, I will include even machine learning. Because these days, to analyze data is very, very difficult. Because the variety, the veracity, the volume, and the velocity of data. Humongous data is available. Data is wealth these days. So to analyze that data, one individual brain is not enough. We need many individual brains. Even many individual brains are not enough. We need supercomputers to analyze this data. So unless you connect yourself with a supercomputer, we will not be able to analyze all the data. So data analysis will be done by machine, not by human brains. The human brain will only choose among various alternatives given by the machines. The machine is very, very important. And machines are becoming learning machines. It can not only analyze data, it can learn from the data. Like human beings. We can learn. We can see what is hidden in the patterns. So thus, machine learning becomes very, very important. So my idea of a future leader is not an individual. My idea of future leader is a collection of individuals. Experts coming together in one space and interacting with the machine, and then a decision can be taken. So that's the future Vijigishu. Chanakya's idea of a leader is a Vijigishu, one who wants to conquer, one who wants to lead, one who wants to take the risk, will be a combination of all this. So this Vijigishu understand that India has to regain its original position. India has to be an elephant, not an unstable triangle, inverted triangle. These two ideas are very, very important as we progress in this discussion. I know from the present standpoint it's an impossible idea. When this idea of European Union was brought in, we thought it's an impossible idea. Germany and France was fighting for years and years and years. And Italy and Germany was fighting. So all these countries were fighting, but now we find they all are uniting. The European Union. There is free movement of people, free movement of resources, free movement of capital, free movement of technology, free movement of information. If that is possible in Europe, why can't it be possible here? Koreans are trying to unite. Germany is already united. Vietnamese have united. Why can't it happen in India? So our young people should think like that futuristically. Present condition, it is impossible because you cannot think of Hindus and Muslims living side by side. You cannot think of Pakistan, India living side by side. It is impossible at this point. But I believe in the future we will see the sanity, we will see the reason, and there will be thinking people. So let us plant the seeds now, so that 50 years hence or 24 years hence, we will reap the fruits of the seeds that we are planting now. Intellectuals and young people must start thinking about this. Even retired people, you have plenty of time. Think about those things. Open a portal, open a social internet space, and put out your ideas like this. And slowly, these ideas will gather momentum. These ideas will coalesce. And more people will be inspired by that. And more people are inspired, it becomes a reality. So let us not sit in despair. Let us take definite actions towards that. This idea is what which motivates me to initiate this discussion. It's a debate which I want to carry throughout the country. All over, wherever I go, I am trying to put this idea into the mind, the seeds of this idea, so that we understand that the future is the future. We can define the future by the small steps we take now. If you don't take those small steps, then we will be the loser. It is in this context I want to bring Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Ambedkar and Jinnah into the discussion on a round table. Very difficult to bring all of them, because Jinnah and Gandhi would not see eye to eye, though Gandhi tried. So to Ambedkar and Gandhi won't see eye to eye. If you read their correspondence, Ambedkar and Gandhi, long correspondence out there. They never saw eye to eye on any issue. Similarly, Jinnah and Mahatma Gandhi. Once Mahatma Gandhi said, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Christian, I am a Parsi, I am a Jew. Then Jinnah said, only Hindu can say that. Muslims don't say that. We are different. We are not Hindus. So Jinnah was very particular about his Muslim identity. So Jinnah represented the Muslim interest, let us say. Ambedkar represents the Dalit interest. Dalits are a considerable number in the Hindu society, 17% Dalits, then 7% tribals. They constitute a significant 1/4 of Indian population. You cannot ignore them. So Ambedkar represents the Dalits. Ambedkar gave voice to the Dalit feelings and temperament and needs. Ambedkar was a spokesperson of Dalits. Mahatma Gandhi used the word Harijan for Dalits. Ambedkar was not happy. Ambedkar said, by changing the word, you cannot integrate us. That is a wild strategy, he said. It's a shrewd strategy. I give you a name and try to integrate. That is not acceptable. Ambedkar's argument was, if they are Harijan, Dalits are Harijan, what does it mean? Harijan means children of God. Are you not children of God? Are you children of devil or what? You are also children of God. The upper caste people are also children of God. So either you have to say everybody is Harijan. You cannot say this particular segment is Harijan. The rest are all some Rakshasa children. So they do not accept the word Harijan. They say it is an insult to their dignity and their personality. So Ambedkar and Gandhi had totally different views about India and India's future. So we are trying to bring all these people, Ambedkar, Gandhi, Jinnah, and Nehru. These days I find that Nehru's contribution is ignored by the powers that be. I think it is utter ingratitude. Kritaghnata. Kritaghnata means ingratitude. What Nehru did for our country, nobody could have done it. So we have to evaluate his contribution objectively, not subjectively, not partially. What he did and what he could not do, both has to be brought in, a kind of SWOT analysis. Nehru's strengths, Nehru's weakness, Nehru's opportunities, Nehru's, all those things we have to analyze. So I would like to bring all these four protagonists. Ambedkar representing Dalits, 25% of Indian population. Jinnah representing the Muslims, which is 1/3 of Indian population. And similarly, Gandhi and Nehru. Gandhi and Nehru wanted to speak for both Hindus and Muslims and Christians. Gandhi tried to do that. Once Gandhi asked Jinnah, can I address your the League Congress? The League also meets annually. In the annual meet of the Muslim League party, Gandhi said, can I speak to them? Can I put my views to them? Jinnah said, no. Because you don't represent Muslims, you represent only Hindus. Don't pretend that you represent Muslims. But Gandhi wanted to represent Muslims. Gandhi said, I am a Muslim also. Jinnah did not agree. Jinnah said, only a Hindu can say I am a Hindu and a Muslim. A Muslim will never say that. So Jinnah denied Gandhi permission to address the Muslim League. So what I am saying is, Gandhi and Nehru tried to represent the whole of India, whereas Jinnah represented only Muslims. That is not how Jinnah started. You know, Balagangadhar Tilak, when he was charged for sedition, Balagangadhar Tilak was a very fundamentalist Orthodox Hindu. He is the one who introduced the Ganesha festival in Maharashtra and the celebration of Shivaji's birthday in Maharashtra. He is the one who did a lot of research on Vedas. He is the one who said the Hindu should believe in the Vedas. Tilak was a very conservative Hindu. And he was charged for sedition by the British rulers. Twice. Once he was convicted and he spent 6 years in the jail in Burma, Mandalay. And second time he was not convicted. And both times, Tilak was represented by Jinnah in the court. When Mahatma Gandhi returned from South Africa, the committee, the reception committee, was headed by Jinnah. Jinnah was the one who talked in great praise of Mahatma Gandhi when he returned from South Africa 1914. So Jinnah was started as an Indian, not as a Muslim. And Jinnah did not have any Muslim habits. He used to drink, he used to smoke. Muslims are not supposed to do that. And Jinnah was a perfect secularist. But slowly, things developed in such a way that Jinnah found himself in the Muslim camp. He became the champion of Muslims. But the temperament of Jinnah was a secularist. A secularist means who does not promote any particular religion. Earlier I talked about a secular democracy. What does secularism mean? There is a lot of misunderstanding about secularism. I think we have to discuss about that. Secularism only means the state does not promote any particular religion. That's all what secularism means. The state does not have any official religion. The state does not promote any particular religion. State is neutral as far as religion is concerned, because religion is amenable for discussion. I believe in God, let us say. That's a matter of belief. What kind of God? Why you believe God? Is there any God? There is no proof. The proof is only your conviction, your personal experience. And my personal experience may be something different. There is no objective, rational proof for the existence of God. God is a matter of belief, a personal conviction. Therefore, if two people sit and discuss whether God exists or not, I can only say, I believe God exists. What is the rationale for your belief? I have no reason to believe. I can only say the world must have been created by someone. And what is the example? A car is manufactured by someone. A house is manufactured by someone. So you project this logic into the ultimate reality. So there is no proof for the existence of God other than your own personal conviction. So when two people sit together and discuss about God, they will reach nowhere. They will only go at each other's throat. So therefore, the state has no business to recommend or promote any particular religion. There are many types of religion. There is Hinduism. In Hinduism itself, there are many denominations. There is Shaivas, Vaishnavas, Ganapatyas, Saureyas, Kaumaras, Shakteyas, Yogis, and there are atheists also in Hinduism. An atheist also can be considered as a Hindu, unlike the Christian religion or Muslim religion. In Muslim religion, you have to believe in Allah to be a Muslim. And Christian religion, you have to believe in Christ. Christ died for your sake. Then alone you can become a Christian. But in Hinduism, you can be an atheist and still be a Hindu. Because we find in the Vedas, they are not giving much importance to God or deity. Vedas give much importance to the mantras. Veda is eternal. Veda is permanent. Veda is not creator. So we have a tradition of not believing in a personal God. That also is part of Hinduism. So what I am saying is, it is very difficult to come together and discuss about God and come to a conclusion. Even if we say there is God, what kind of God? Muslims say my God is Allah. Christians say my God is God. Hindus say my God is Krishna. How can you come to an agreement? So the state should be neutral towards religious beliefs. Secularism says the state should not interfere in religious matters. Recently there was a big controversy about Sabrimala. Some of you must have heard about it. Sabrimala is a very famous temple in Kerala. Can menstruating women go and worship in Sabrimala? That was the question. Indian Constitution says Indian citizens have access to anywhere in India. Any territory in India is accessible to Indian citizen. Except in Kashmir you cannot buy property. Or Nagaland you cannot buy property. That is political reason. But according to Indian Constitution, that's not allowed. We have free access to everywhere in India. That's the freedom. But this question is, can menstruating women enter into Sabrimala temple and worship there? There the tradition is they can't. It is believed that Sabrimala Shasta is a brahmachari. He doesn't want to be disturbed by menstruating women because their hormones can disturb him. Therefore, don't enter. He is practicing brahmacharya. That's kind of a logic. You can say it's a logic or illogic or whatever. But that is a tradition there. So if you have such a tradition and large mass of people believe in it, the state has no reason to interfere into that belief. And Supreme Court is a wing of the state, arm of the state. A state means a legislature, judiciary, and bureaucracy, executive. So the state has no business to interfere into the affairs of faith and belief and practices and tradition. But Supreme Court interfered and created a lot of problem. In Kerala, I would say they should have been wise enough to follow the true spirit of secularism. State should not interfere in such matters. So this is the idea of secularism, that state and religion should be separate. And so that all kind of religions can flourish in this state. Because religion is a matter of belief. Believe the language to your heart. And it is idiosyncratic. Different people can have different beliefs. You can have your own God. Who can stop you? I can say, I believe some God, so X-God, let's say. Who can stop you? And you must have the right to believe like that. So secularism is ideal for India, especially in India, where different religions are contending for mental space. State should not interfere. We all are citizens of an independent country, independent state, and so secular democracy. That is one of the ideals I proposed yesterday for debate. I'm not saying that this is the ultimate truth. We can debate on that, but we need some proposition for debate. So my point was, while Ambedkar represented Dalits, 25% of the people, Jinnah represented Muslims, Gandhi and Nehru tried to represent all people of all religions, of all faiths, of all linguistic groups. Gandhi and Nehru tried to represent, but unfortunately the logic of politics is such, they found themselves representing Hindus. This is the irony. They found themselves representing Hindus, though they tried to transcend the religious levels, but in politics it is not possible. Politics, you have to take sides. That is one of the failures of Gandhi. Gandhi was a true Hindu because he lived like a Hindu. He had a chutti and he dressed very simply. He had prayer meetings. He talked of Rama-Rajya. Rama-Rajya is a Hindu word. Muslims may not like it. And at the same time, he talked about the Hindu-Muslim unity. He took up the Khilafat movement, which was a very unwise step, because the Ottoman Empire already collapsed under its own weight. It could not have been revived because it was a relic of the history. And Gandhi took up that cause and Khilafat movement, thinking that that will bring Hindu-Muslim unity. Gandhi's greatest failure was he campaigned throughout his life for Hindu-Muslim unity, but at the end of the day, at the evening of his life, he found Hindus or Muslims are fighting. Though Gandhi propagated non-violence, which was his key word, when you think of Gandhi, Gandhi propagated the idea of non-violence. I'll be coming back to that. So though Gandhi tried to propagate, Nehru as well, of Hindu-Muslim unity, but at the end of the day, in 1947, when India got independence, we were split into Pakistan and India, and you know the bloodbath that took place. We talk about Stalin. During Stalin's rule, 30 million people perished. Mao's rule, 25 million people perished. In Pol Pot, in Cambodia, 10 million people perished because they were violent regime. But in India, in spite of the 30 years of non-violent movement under Gandhi's leadership, when we ultimately got freedom, it was in bloodbath. We also had blood in our hands. Muslims and Hindus killed each other. 1 million people perished in the communal violence. In spite of all the non-violence, Gandhi spoke. So Gandhi championed Hindu-Muslim unity, but ultimately Gandhi could not achieve. He was a thorough failure. Gandhi did not want India to be divided, because Gandhi said India can be divided only on my dead body. I will die. But India was divided. Gandhi failed there too. And I was wondering why Gandhi did not fast, which is a very interesting question. If Hindu-Muslim unity was fundamental to his vision, and did not want India to be divided into India and Pakistan, Gandhi had ultimate weapon. The weapon was fast unto death. Of course, that is what Jinnah secretly wanted. Let the old man die. But Gandhi was much more cleverer. He did not fast unto death. Whereas, when British people gave separate electorate to Dalits, in 1930, British people gave separate electorate to Dalits, untouchables, and tried to wean away them from Hindus so that you can weaken Hinduism, Hindu religion. Gandhi fasted. Gandhi fasted unto death. And Ambedkar has to rush to Gandhi's side and plead him, stop your fasting, and I concede your demand. So Gandhi succeeded in that. If Gandhi had not done that, I tell you, Hindus would have been divided into two camps. The Dalits 25% and the rest of the people proper Hindus. It would have been a great damage to India. India would have been still divided among the Dalit land and the Hindu land. Gandhi fasted there. He fasted unto death, but Ambedkar did not allow him to die. That means Ambedkar was a reasonable person. He could have stuck to his guns like Jinnah did. He did not do that. So Ambedkar was the one who, the architect of our constitution also. In the constitution, he made sure enough provisions were given for Dalits, Dalit upliftment. So Ambedkar was, in heart, he was a true Hindu. Though he said, I was born as a Hindu, but I don't want to die as a Hindu. And he did that. Toward the end, in 1956 or so, he got converted into Buddhism. In another 3 weeks, he died. So my point was, let us bring Mahatma Gandhi and Nehru was true secularist who wanted all religions to flourish in the landmass of India and still maintained the majority of Hindus. Because Hindus' unity is important for India's integrity and India's defense. If Hindus disintegrate, then India will disappear. So there is a point in the Hindutva Vadis that India's unity, India's strength, India's progress depend upon Hindus' unity. And Gandhi strove for that. Nehru strove for that. But Jinnah was against that. But Jinnah was representing a point of view, the Muslim. And unless we accommodate Muslims into the concept of our nation, our national aspiration will not be fulfilled. This is a challenge, I think, we have to face, the Hindus have to face. It is in Hindus' own interest that we have to somehow or other bring Pakistan, Bangladesh into the Hindu-Indian fold. How do we do that is a challenge for the modern people. Now let us analyze one by one Gandhi's contribution, Gandhi's success and Gandhi's failure. What did Gandhi has to offer for the future of India? What did Nehru has to offer for the future of India? What does Ambedkar has to offer? And where do we bring Jinnah's interest, the Muslims' interest? These are all very, very interesting in discussing the future of India. Gandhi's basic philosophy was ahimsa. Ahimsa paramo dharma, which is one of the Hindu philosophy. Vyasa, somebody asked Vyasa, can you define what is dharma? What is right? Vyasa defined ahimsa paramo dharma. Ahimsa is supreme dharma. Everything should be defined in terms of ahimsa. That is the Hindu's basic ethos. Even all other religions also say the same thing. Let's say Christ, Christianity. What is the basic motto of Christianity? If somebody slaps on one cheek, you have to show him the other cheek. Somebody wants your shirt, give him the pant also, if you have an underwear. Isn't it? So therefore, you have to, so that is the Christianity. What is Islam? Islam means peace, surrender, sacrifice. There is no religion which can preach violence. A religion which preaches violence cannot be qualified as a religion. So Hindus also ahimsa paramo dharma. So Gandhi took it up. For Gandhi, politics and religions are two sides of the same coin. Religion without politics, politics with religion is not sustainable. Politics must have some moral ethos, some religious foundation. And all politics all over the world is founded on religion. American culture or European culture is founded on Christianity and Judaism. Judo-Christian foundation is the basis of American or Anglo-Saxon civilization. If you go deeper and deeper, you find the Judo-Christian foundation. Similarly, for us, Hinduism is the foundation. So what is the basic ethos of Hinduism? Non-violence. So Gandhi took it up. In a very famous statement, Gandhi says, I would rather be in front of the gun than behind the gun. Think about that. I would rather be in front of the gun and be blown away rather than be behind the gun and shoot and blow away somebody else. Gandhi says, sacrifice is very, very important. You must sacrifice your personal interest. When you sacrifice your personal interest, you will have the moral authority to speak to power. You will have the moral integrity and courage to speak against injustice. You must be ready to sacrifice your personal interest. That is the meaning of ahimsa. Sacrifice your personal interest and think for the common good. And in that you will be the victim. So death is the reward for one who stands for truth and justice, Gandhi says. Death is the reward. That happened to Socrates. When we stood for justice, finally he was given death sentence. That happened to Abraham Lincoln, who stood for justice. He said slavery is illegal and immoral, against God. So he removed slavery by a proclamation. The next day he was shot dead. Socrates was given poison. Gandhi was shot dead. Christ was put on the cross. So all these people who speak truth and stand for non-violence, because non-violence is the only way to seek truth. Because truth is inclusion. When you include, you reach truth. When you exclude, you are away from truth. Inclusion is non-violent. Exclusion is violent. So to reach a truth, which is God and truth are the same, you must practice non-violence. So Gandhi emphasized on non-violence. So how do you run a country on the principle of non-violence? That's a big challenge. How do you defend the borders of your country? How do you defend your wife and children and your honor through the principle of non-violence? We talk about ahimsa paramo dharma, ahimsa paramo dharma, but have we put it into practice? When somebody comes and put a gun on your head and say, where is the key for your shelf? What will you do? Gandhi says, be blown away, be killed. So one should be ready to be killed. One should be ready to die for truth and non-violence. And for that, Gandhi says, you should be a brahmachari. Gandhi is a very fundamental thinker. That's why Gandhi has been honored as the greatest man of the century by Times magazine. In 2000 AD, when the millennium was over, the Time magazine conducted a poll. Who was the greatest man of the century, 20th century? or maybe the millennia. Who was the greatest person? They selected Gandhi, not Mao Zedong, not Stalin, not Hitler, not Churchill, not Roosevelt. Gandhi was. You Gujaratis should be proud of that. And I find most of you are denouncing Gandhi, which is ungrateful. Which is ungrateful. You can critique him, but don't denounce him. You can critique your father. Why did you bring into this world? But touch his feet at least. Touch his feet at least. So Gandhi is to be respected. He brought in fundamental ideas into discussion. So Gandhi said, non-violence is the only path to discover truth. And our purpose, human purpose, is to know truth. So for him, politics is a search for truth. That's why he named his autobiography as My Experiment with Truth. Of course, Gandhi didn't say that. Gandhi only said Jeevan Katha. It is translated Mahadev Desai, who translated My Experiments with the Truth. So politics is a way of reaching truth and discovering God. And politics is the way to serve the community. And by serving the community, Loka Sangraham, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, you reach the temple of truth. So Gandhi was a very fundamental thinker, very radical thinker. If any of you would have read Gandhi's original work is Hindu Swaraj, Indian Home Rule. Hindu Swaraj. Any of you read that book? I am asking a question. Any of you have heard about it? You heard it. Have you read it? No. So, this is one of the fundamental text of Gandhi. You have no right to criticize Gandhi if you have not read that book. You don't know what are his thoughts. In that book, Gandhi said, the fundamental purpose of politics is to realize truth. The state policy should be designed in such a way that the individual must have the freedom to seek truth in a non-violent way, because violence cannot lead to truth, to God. For practicing non-violence, you must be a brahmachari, Gandhi insists. There is the problem. Who can be a brahmachari? Because we all married, children, grandchildren. Maybe some of you are married twice. Isn't it? So, according to Gandhi, we all should be brahmacharis to practice non-violence to reach truth. So, how do you find or organize a nation based upon this principle of Gandhi? So, Gandhi was fundamental radical. He was an outsider, outlier. He was a rebel, permanent rebel. That's why when India was divided into Pakistan and India, Bharat, somebody asked, where would you like to live? Gandhi said, I would like to live in Pakistan. Lucky he was shot dead. Otherwise he would have gone to Pakistan and created problem for us. This is the radicalism of Gandhi. He was a fundamental thinker, a radical thinker. He is a truly, originally free person. That's the meaning of freedom. It's very difficult to organize a nation based upon Gandhi's principle. That's why Nehru was forced to move away from the Gandhian logic and Gandhian principle. Gandhi was an anarchist. Gandhi was a free thinker. Gandhi was fearless thinker. Wherever thought takes him, he will reach there, fearlessly. When India got freedom and we were celebrating freedom on 1947, August 15th, when the tricolor went up and the Union Jack went down, the architect of India's independence, Mahatma Gandhi, where was he? True to his rebellious nature, Gandhi was not in Delhi. He was far away in East Pakistan, negotiating rickety bamboo bridges drinking coconut milk because goat milk was not available, suffering from diarrhea, walking barefoot in slush and blood and negotiating through dead bodies. This was Gandhi. Gandhi was India, just India cannot contain him. The whole world cannot contain him. Only the universe can, only truth can contain him. Mahatma Gandhi. So therefore, Mahatma Gandhi's principle of brahmacharyam, non-violence and truth-seeking and politics is a means of discovering God, etc., cannot be the foundation of a nation. There we disagree with Gandhi. Respectfully. Though it can be a foundation for individual life, it cannot be a foundation for the family life, where you have to defend your children and your wife. Cannot be the philosophy of a national life, where you have to defend the borders of your country, if necessary, by using violence, where you have to defend your honor. Gandhian principle. So Nehru discovered that. Therefore, Gandhi's economics is based upon this non-violence. Gandhi did not believe in machineries. So I was talking about the impossibility of applying Gandhian principle in nation building, in maintaining families, your honor and your culture. Gandhi spoke to the whole world. Gandhi did not speak to just Indians. He spoke to the whole world. He happened to be an Indian. He happened to be leading Indian independence struggle. That is part of his search for truth. Indian independence struggle was not his main agenda. He wanted to be a free person. So it is his search for freedom, justice, equality. That is what led him to politics. So religion led him to politics, not politics into a religion. He searched for truth. That's why he resigned from Congress in 1936. He said, I don't want to be a congressman. Though he was the one who built up Congress. From a 100-member club, he built into Congress by 1920 into a 14,000-member party, a party which has got roots all over India. Then he resigned. This is Gandhi. He's a very interesting person. He worked for India's independence. When India got independent, instead of becoming the Prime Minister, isn't it? Everybody. He became the Prime Minister. But he was somewhere in Navkhali. His search for truth was such a relentless search for truth, for justice, led him to unknown places, to new areas of struggle. He continued his struggle. So that Gandhian principle may not be possible, may not be a foundation for India's nation building. And hence Gandhi, he talked about decentralizing power, decentralizing economic activities, reducing human need. He didn't believe in railways and cars and aeroplanes. He said, why do you fly? Why do you run from your village to another place? Even post office, he said, what is the reason for sending a letter? What for? So he was against railways in Hindu Swaraj, if you read it. Against parliamentary democracy. Because parliamentary democracy, you send a representative to the parliament to argue for you. Why should somebody argue for you? You can argue yourself, you can represent yourself. Because when somebody argues for you, he exploits you. He brings his own argument for his own sake. We know that. Indian parliamentarians are stuffing their own pocket, isn't it? They take money from you and put in their pocket. That is what they are doing. Ministers are doing the same thing. So Gandhi said, nobody has the right or the privilege to represent you. You have to personally represent. Therefore, parliaments and elections, this should be panchayats, small panchayats. so that democracy can actually work. So you wanted to decentralize power, you want to decentralize economic activities. Therefore, you reduce your needs so that you can work on the field and you can live on your sweat. Whatever you consume, you are the producer. There is no gap between the producer and the consumer in Gandhi's economics. Today, what we are consuming is produced in Korea and China and America, isn't it? Even the food that we eat is produced somewhere else, not in your backyard. The wide gap between producer and consumer, the potato that you eat, the apple that you eat, the mangoes that you eat, all are produced somewhere else, and huge shipments of producers, supply chains, consumption of petrol, pollution, and large use of machinery. As a result of people are losing their jobs. Gandhi said it is not mass production, it is production by the masses. It is not production for someone else, it is production for yourself. That is Gandhi's idea of Swaraj. Swaraj. Swaraj means you work for yourself, you produce for your own needs. Gandhi used to cut his own hair. He used to make his own shoes. He used to make his own clothes. He used to cook his own food. He said that is what is the meaning of Swaraj. Swaraj is not just a political freedom. It is freedom from greed, freedom from need, living with minimal needs. Then alone you can be a free person. Do you think it is workable these days? Any of you? Including the Swami? Impossible. Only Gandhi can do that. None of us can do that. Because we are depending on the other for everything that we need. If you need a packet of sugar, we run to the mall, isn't it? If you need water, earlier we used to drink water from the well, from the backyard. Now you rush to the shop for water. A day will come, even for oxygen, you will have to run to the mall. You have to run to the mall. All information will be sitting in the cloud. To know the name of your son, you'll have to Google. What's the name of your own name? You forget. Everything depends upon the other. You lost your soul, Gandhi said. The soul force. He was for soul force, not machine power or the brute force. Gandhi was a very radical thinker. His concept of Swadeshi we have not understood. Or Swatantrata or freedom, we have not understood. Swadeshi means living you confined to the simple village. That is your Swadesh. Where you can hand and leg can reach. That is your Swadesh. If you use artificial means, that is your Videsh. That's why Gandhi was against railways, aeroplanes, cars, machines. So Swaraj means abiding in oneself. This is one of the fundamental philosophy of Hinduism. Who is a happy person? One who abides in himself or herself. Swaraj. Swastim. Swasminstaha swastaha. Swasti. So Swaraj or Swadesh, Swadeshi means wherever your hands and legs can reach, you reach there. He called British Parliament is a war house, he said. So too is Indian Parliament also. It's a war house. Who is a war? A war who has no character. Her character is for sale. So Indian politicians' integrity and character is for sale. Give him 1 crore, he will vote for anybody. So Gandhi said, Parliament is an instrument of torture. It doesn't represent anybody. It represents only the powers that be. So when you read Hindu Swaraj, you will feel dizzy, I tell you. You feel dizzy. All your fundamental concept will be shattered into pieces. Gandhi was a radical thinker, but that Gandhian principles can be applied to the Indian nation, Indian state. And Gandhi was a thorough failure. In maintaining the united India, India was split into 2 countries or 3 countries. Having Hindu-Muslim unity, he failed. And his concept of economics, where power is decentralized, production is decentralized, and small independent villages, and a confederation of such villages, that also is a thorough failure. So Gandhi died as a disappointed person. He contributed a lot in his search for truth, but his dreams are all in shatters. Nothing is realized. And I think this is the fate of people who search for truth. So nation is not built on truth. Nation is built on power. That is what Balagangadhar Tilak said. Truth is subservient to power. A nation is built on power, hierarchy, structures, rules, regulations, defense, internal security, external security, competition. So therefore we cannot absolutely follow Gandhi. Gandhi did something good, and it's a fascinating personality. More than that, we cannot apply Gandhism into present day condition. Individually you can do that, provided you are a brahmachari. But you all are married with children, wife, and dogs and cats and properties and all that. We cannot. A nation cannot be built, a family cannot be built, a culture cannot be built on this principle. But those principles are the defining principles of humanity. Gandhi's principle is applicable to the whole world. A time will come when Gandhi will resurrect, where the national boundaries will lower and people will start thinking as one humanity rather than Indians or Christians or Muslims or Pakistanis. We will start thinking, because the world is shrinking. Communications are expanding. Whatever happens anywhere is accessible to anybody anywhere, isn't it? Actually, sitting here, you know what is happening in America than Americans themselves. So the world is moving towards the Gandhian principle of non-violence, truth, justice, equality, but the time has not yet come. That is where Nehru's principles come. Nehru was also a secular democrat, but at the same time, he laid a strong foundation for the future of India. I think that had Nehru not been there at the helm of affairs, democracy could not have survived in India. Nehru's greatest contribution, along with the Gandhi, was the democratic temperament that he created, the democratic institution. In that, Nehru, Gandhi, and Ambedkar played a big role. When Ambedkar wanted a separate constitution, separate electorate for Dalits, Gandhi opposed it, and Ambedkar understood it. Had Ambedkar insisted like Jinnah, India would have been divided further. That did not happen. So I would consider Ambedkar as a great patriot. Though he spoke for his community, he struggled for his community. It is time that we start respecting Ambedkar, and I am happy that Ambedkar statues are all over the country. Wherever I go, I find Ambedkar statues. He was not only the architect of India's constitution, he was also the architect of India's unity. Just as Sardar Patel, Ambedkar, if he insisted on separate electorate for Dalits, India would have been still to split into different countries. So Ambedkar represents Dalits and Jinnah represents Muslims. Gandhi tried to represent all of India, so too Jawaharlal Nehru. So Jawaharlal Nehru gave concrete shape to Gandhi's ideals. Gandhi's ideals was shaped into a concrete structure by Jawaharlal Nehru. That is the reason why Gandhi proposed Nehru as the Prime Minister of India. Because the working committee, Congress working committee met to elect the Prime Minister of the independent India. And the working committee, by a majority votes, elected Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel was proposed by the working committee of Congress. It was Gandhi. Fortunately, he has this idea of inner, the soft whisper of his inner soul idea. His soul speaks. Gandhi said, I refer to my soul and I recommend Jawaharlal Nehru as the Prime Minister. Because he knew he will speak his language of secular democracy. And Nehru did that. Nehru was a staunch secularist and a staunch democrat. He could have been a dictator, but he refused to be a dictator, like Sukarno in Indonesia, or Ayub Khan in Pakistan, or Nasser in Egypt, or Mao in China. All over there are dictatorships. In the name of poverty, in the name of his mass appeal, he could have become a dictator, but Nehru did not become a dictator. And we owe a lot to Nehru for that. Not only that, he laid the strong foundation for India's industrial development. He established these IITs. There is one IIT graduate who said, oh, Nehru did nothing for India. He was arguing with me. And I asked him, where did you study? IIT. Who established that? That was Nehru. So you are a product of IIT and you are turning against the founder of IITs. So Nehru is the one who established dams, Bakra Nangal, Nagarjuna Sagar, Hirakud, and industrial establishments, Bokaro steel plant, or all those kind of steel plants. Very futuristic. So Nehru, when he took power, we were not producing even a pin in this country. Now India is looking into as the world power, 3 trillion economy, the 6th largest economy in the world. And the foundation was laid by Nehru, none other than Nehru. We owe a lot to Nehru for democracy, industrial revolution, and communal harmony. Nehru fought for communal harmony, which is very, very important. We still have a significant number of Muslims in this country. I was told 180 million Muslims. When in 1900, the whole of India had only 70 million Muslims. In 1900, the whole of India, which include Pakistan, Bangladesh and all that. Now India alone has got 180 million Muslims. Bangladesh has got 160 million Muslims. Pakistan has got about 200 million Muslims. So 200 plus 160 plus 180, considerable number in our Chakravarti Kshetra. And not only that, we are all armed to the teeth. Pakistan has 145 nuclear bombs, India has got 125 nuclear bombs. 10 nuclear bombs are enough to wipe out the whole of India. Imagine, they are throwing nuclear bombs against each other. Therefore, I believe war is impractical, impossible, and suicidal between India and Pakistan.
But what Nehru did, Sardar Patel also could have done perhaps better than what Nehru.
We don't know. These are all ifs and buts of history. The very fact that Gandhi supported Nehru, Patel also could have done. But Patel lacked mass appeal. That was the problem.
He was elected. He was by majority elected.
No, but only by the working committee, Congress party. Working committee. Nehru had mass appeal. He could go beyond the working committee. So Patel goes to, let's say, Chennai. He will attract maybe 500 people. Nehru goes, he will attract 50,000 people. Nehru had a mass appeal. Democracy needs that mass appeal. And if you don't have mass appeal, your thinking will be restricted. You need a mass appeal in a democracy.
Was Patel would unite all the states?
Absolutely. Patel united all the states. That's why you
Nehru
put.
would not have done.
No, you cannot say that. Nehru is the one who brought Goa into India. Indira Gandhi is the one who brought Sikkim into India.
He also got from the state assembly, he got support from most of the state assembly also. So he had mass appeal also.
No, it's assembly is the Congress, all the Congress members. Assembly is elected Congress members, isn't it? So,
Actually, Nehru shadowed Sardar Patel.
pardon? Nehru?
Overshadowed Sardar Patel.
Nehru did what?
Overshadowed Sardar Patel.
Yes. Sardar Patel died in
He
1950.
was very intelligent.
Yeah. Sardar Patel,
Very strong person. More strong, stronger than Nehru.
who Patel? No, what I said, so Patel died in 1950. Yeah, only 2 years. Then who will come? So Gandhi must have thought all this.
Nehru dynasty would not have come in that case.
Pardon?
Nehru dynasty would not have come in that case.
Yeah, that is a different question. I mean, you can say had Patel been the prime.
Stop. At least that good thing Sardar would have done.
No, you can say if Patel had been the prime minister, he would not have died. That is maybe possible because power gives you a long life. So these are all matters we can discuss. Nehru versus Patel we can discuss. Patel versus Gandhi we can discuss. Patel disagreed with Gandhi also on several issues. What I am saying is let us initiate a discussion. Let's not take strong positions. Don't be a champion of Patel, nor be a champion of Nehru.
Some time back, it was in circulation that Patel, though he had the majority, but Nehru wanted to walk out because he was being made prime minister. Then finally, he forced Gandhiji to appoint him as the prime minister. Only then he was with the Congress.
Yeah, so what is suppose Nehru walks out, what will happen?
So far it is true.
No, it may be true. It may be true. If Nehru walks out, Gandhi knew it will be a big mistake if Nehru goes out. Yeah. So, we don't know. As far as India is concerned,
Swami, see, in my view, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was a local man, while Nehru was in
as a universe, yeah. So he had yeah.
So I think there should not be any doubt about Nehru being
Ever prime minister, yeah. Nehru alone could have appealed, mass appeal, and get a candidate elected. Congress candidates will have to be elected. And Nehru, if you read those times, Nehru went all over India and campaigned. Patel did not go. Patel went to a few places. Patel was more an organizational man. He had control over the organization, like Stalin. Stalin has control over the organization. He was not a smart guy, intelligent person, but he has control over the organization. So therefore, he took over power. So here, because of Gandhi's presence, that did not happen. So Gandhi had a very balanced view. Patel was a great devotee of Gandhi, more than Nehru. When I read the correspondence between Gandhi and Nehru, Nehru disagreed with everything that Gandhi said.
Clarity of thought.
Oh,
Patel was more clear in his thought.
yeah.
He was confined to bed only. After he is independent.
What happens is, Patel had clarity, because clarity is sometimes the definition of mediocrity. Because people who think comprehensively and think complex issues, they may not have that much clarity because they keep it open. So clarity is not a critical thing. It's important, but it's not the only thing. Yes.
We may not compare the, vision of both the persons, but Nehruji had a vision.
Correct. So what I am saying is, yes.
If Rama is reality, Krishna is reality, Chanakya is a reality, and they were all successful in terms of good leaders and good spiritual leaders, right? They never believed in non-violence. Okay? And because of that, they could become a real big leaders, and they would unite the country, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a complete contradiction in terms of when you're talking about our own culture and own values, right? Where Gandhiji failed because of the non-violence, I would say.
That's what I'm saying. If we conclude that, I came to your own conclusion. Gandhiji was a non-violent person. He spoke for the entire humanity. He did not speak for a particular country. Entire humanity, non-violence is important, isn't it? If you start fighting each other, I pull one of your tooth, you pull two of my tooth, we all become toothless. Isn't it? I scratch your eye, one eye, and you scratch my two eyes, we will become blind.
So in that context, would Sardar Patel would have been a better leader because he could have been able to unite by force?
He united.
Yeah, and he could have been a better leader in that case.
Yeah, but he did that function very well. Yeah.
He did not have a Kashmir
He
issue.
did the whole country and so he could
Pardon?
have been a better leader and
He
he
would
was
not have
successful
been
leader.
facing Kashmir issue had Patel been happy.
We are coming to
He
that.
was confined to bed because of this all issues of Nehru and
Let's not, please, let's not speak. Wait a minute. Please, in this kind of discussion,
That's a history, let's not worry.
please, one thing.
no, we have to learn from the history.
Wait.
We are not fighting for the history, but we have to learn from
Please listen to me. In this kind of discussion, you should not talk to each other. Talk to the speaker. Talk to the chair. You talk to the chair, then I'll convey that. If you talk to each other, there'll be pandemonium.
Sir, my point is only one. That Sardar Patel was mostly confined to bed. So he could not have done anything for the country. So this argument is totally baseless.
Baseless. Okay, you put your argument. What's your argument?
No, my argument was that he was confined to the bed because of all the issues that he had to face with fighting within the Congress. And that kind of affected his health and he got confined.
That should not. A true leader, Iron Man, should not be affected by
But he
those
was
kind of
appointed
things.
eventually, right?
Okay, you had your point. Anybody else?
In fact, Gandhi, Hinsa Paramo Dharma, and the next line, Dharma Hinsa Tatev Jaya, he forgot that, I think.
Yeah, no, it's not there. It's not part of that. Where are you getting this quote from? Ahimsa paramo dharma, himsa bhi paramo dharma. It's not there.
Hinsa Tatev Jaya. Dharma Hinsa, the Hinsa for Dharma.
Where are you quoting this from?
I read somewhere.
You read somewhere. Tell me from where. You're reading somewhere, nobody can put anything into. So, ahimsa paramo dharma, himsa bhi tadaiva cha doesn't make any sense. Yeah, dharma himsa. So what is dharma? Himsa comes secondary. What is dharma? Ahimsa. Ahimsa is dharma, and then you can dharma himsa, that doesn't make any sense. It's oxymoron.
But Patel sir was a great admirer and practicing Gandhian.
Gandhian.
When he died, he had hardly any money left to his when he had a very lucrative business.
Correct. No, Patel was a great man. We all agree on that. But then great people have certain role to play. If they step out of that, they may be misfit. A great man can be a misfit in certain other roles. Patel had a role, he did it very well. And Jawaharlal Nehru had a role, he also did it very well. That is why India is united. Tell me one country of India's size which remain united under democracy. One country. Indonesia split, Malaysia split. Tell me one country. Only India. USSR disintegrated, isn't it? Under democracy, I am saying. Yeah.
Sir, please, now what is the future vision for India?
This is what we are discussing. I think you just came now. So we are discussing the future vision for India. I have given 5 principles around which you are organizing the discussion. What are the 5 principles? I repeat again, secular democracy, market competition, less government and more governance, and science, reason in public space, the role of reason in public space, not passion, reason in public discourse, science, technology, and then individual freedom and rule of law. This is the vision I am presenting.
These are the 5 things that Modi advocates all the time.
What is that?
Modi advocates all these 5 principles.
Yeah, Modi, I am not against Modi. I am not against Modi. We are going into the nitty-gritty of that discussion with a certain historical perspective. We are organizing a discussion.
Present government people are telling since last 66 years nothing is done.
Are you a congressman?
No, I am.
You are not a congressman, okay. because Modi has done, don't say that, Modi has done nothing. Modi has done a lot of things.
Since last 66 years nothing is done.
Nothing is done.
That is
Okay. Claim, no, that is not true. That during the 60s years nothing has been done is absolutely wrong. Because Modi is sitting on the shoulders of these 66 years. From there he is taking up. So if you say that nothing has been done, then you will be sitting in the air, isn't it?
He is not claiming that.
Yeah.
He is saying lot could have been done. But
Lot could have been
it's
done.
not been done.
In retrospect, my sir, in retrospect you could have said,
We should have waited for 66 years to get power in all the villages, toilets in all the villages. So
Yeah.
it's a long period, and Japan could do a lot of things in a small time.
you know, the thing is, Japan and India is different. Japan was already a world power. Then they got completely wiped off.
So
India was, 80% of the people were living in abject poverty. There was not even a one needle produced in this country.
India was world power at one point, right? So we have that legacy.
We have the legacy long back. We have the legacy in the 5th century AD.
No, I was even Akbar ruled well. Like when Akbar was there, he ruled very well. In India was a great power at that time too. So I'll not consider it as like a.
No, India was a great power, but the large number of people under poverty. There was few people. At that time, power means the power of the king. The king had a lot of wealth, but what about the poor people?
Poverty, I think, only came after British rule. I think before that.
No, even before that, there was poverty.
Because
During
they
the,
sucked away all the.
during the Islamic rule, there is history, there was poverty. British rule made it abject poverty, and so you cannot say there was no poverty. Poverty was there. India was the largest number of people from.
The reason British came to India was because India was a wealthy country. Right?
India was wealth, but Indians were not wealthy. There is a difference. India had wealth, but Indians were not wealthy. Yeah, few had wealth, and they accumulated it, and that was looted. If you put all your money in one bag and put it in your shelf, somebody can come and take it away. So if Indians had wealth, it would have been not possible. They would have defended it. There was nobody to defend. When Bakhtiyar Khilji came to in Bihar, in the Nalanda University, 10,000 teachers, 10,000 students, 2,000 teachers, and 200 people, Bakhtiyar Khilji. He destroyed, killed all of them. Nobody was to defend, because India was not able to mobilize the people, because they were poor. A poor man has no stake. He said, okay, take it, let it be taken away, because I don't get it, let it be taken away. So India had a lopsided society, we have to admit that. Otherwise, no other country will fail to protect itself. India failed to protect because of this reason, imbalance in wealth. There is large wealth accumulated in some people, majority of the people had nothing. So Khilji came with 200 people. He could fight, destroy the whole library and people, everything in the 13th century. That is because people don't care. They have no stake. If they had a stake, they all will take their weapon.
This is what Patel Sahib had seen, and that is why he made His Highness to Mr. Because His Highness had all.
Yeah. Patel did that. I'm not talking for Patel or against Patel or Nehru. Yes. So we are discussing now. We are discussing what should be the future vision for India from here. Where do we want to take our country? That's what we are discussing. At least we are initiating this. I think his time is up. If you are, yeah.
I'm an ex-defense person.
I can see that.
So you see, anyway, I'm in the field of spirituality, that I'll talk later. But I joined army in 1962, before the Chinese War. I can assure you, that particular time, we did not even have shoes. And I remember, I'm not against Patel, I'm not for Siddharth Patel, but I'm just telling you the policy that time. He said the army is not required. They were meant for constructing buildings. We were all put to construct buildings, and finally when we had to fight a war, we faced a big challenge there.
One failure of Nehru was that. One failure of Nehru was a peacenik.
Second point, over a period of time, I have been serving for a very long time. I joined almost 60 years ago. And I found that the type of equipment and prepared what it was even 30, 40 years ago.
Of course, of course.
Maybe it's-
Because we learned bitter lessons. We lost the 62 war, we learned bitter lessons.
Oh, we won the wars.
Pardon?
Because they were worse than us. Maybe in terms of morale. We won because of morale, not because of the equipment.
Which war?
Pakistan war.
Pakistan war.
The,
Yeah.
71 war we had.
Yeah.
65 we had. Of course,
71 war is a foregone conclusion. Because 71, because the whole Bangladesh was.
where people die and fight.
Yeah, 65 war I can understand. 65 war, of course, they had better equipment.
I was in JNK that time. I was a young boy at that time. So you see, we have seen the hazards which we have gone through. But what I feel, because I am out from the army, what I am seeing, the kind of preparedness is now going on is much better than what.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we learned better lessons. So we may be, Nehru was following Gandhi's, democracy, peace, and you thought China will be a good friend. He was against America, American capitalism, he was a socialist. At that time, socialism was in vogue. So these are because every leader is a prisoner of his times and his philosophy. And they learn, and then the future generation learn from the mistakes of the past people. That's the way country grows. So Nehru had his own problem, Patel has his own problem, Gandhi had his own problem. That is what we are discussing now. So that we don't make those mistakes. We will make our own share of mistakes. Whatever you learn from the past, we all make our own mistakes because problems are changing. This is not the same problem. Problems are different. Times are changing. Solutions are different. People are different. Every generation will make their own mistakes. We may not be able to learn. We learn what mistakes others did, our forefathers did. But still we continue to make mistakes. History repeats in one way or other. But this kind of discussion will prepare you to respond to the new challenges in a creative way. That is what we are discussing. Thank you very much. Any question or something you write and you can keep it here. We'll discuss it tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll be talking about the Hindutva worldview. What is its relevance? What is its significance?
Swamiji, one request also.
Yeah.
You can also include, if possible, if you wish, about the reservation policy that is going on.
Yeah, but I may refer to that. Because I have a certain logic and I had to bring that. Yeah, in a reservation policy. To begin with, I am for reservation. I'll tell you the reason why I am for reservation, which I may discuss tomorrow. I know it has got problems, but it has got certain reasons also for reservation. So we'll see tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll talk about the Hindutva worldview, day after the Chanakya's worldview, and the final day also Vedantic solution to India's problem. This is how I want to design these talks. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Harihi Om. So we meet here